right, today we are going to be talking about rotations on the coordinate plane. We're on rotations on coordinate plane. And this can be the most confusing, kind of, because you have to remember the rules, pretty much, for rotations. You can think about it, but it's kind of hard to see on paper. So there's rules that we're going to follow. I'm on page 34. Rotations. Okay. Rotation is a turn. It turns a figure around a point that's called the center of rotation. Okay, and the easiest way for you to think about it is like if I had a coordinate plane and I put in this, let's say my paper clip, and I start here. If I were to turn it like a clock, okay, here my points are going to be in this quadrant, here my points are going to be in this quadrant, and here my points are going to be in this quadrant. But we're turning. But this point of rotation is what's staying the same. Okay? That's kind of how to think about it. Now what you have to remember is the direction that you're going. Okay? The direction. You have to think about a clock. At a clock we have 12:06. Right? If we're going clockwise, that means that we're going this way, the way a clock normally goes. Right? If we have a clock and we are going counterclockwise, that means that we're going backwards. Okay? This is counterclockwise. It just means backwards on a clock. Clockwise and counterclockwise. Okay, and then we have to think about the degrees. Direction and degrees. All right, a coordinate plane is made up of two straight angles, right? This first one is 90 degrees. So if we start here and I turn here, I've done 90 degrees, right? If I go from here to here, I've done 180 degrees. If I've gone from here to here, I've done 270 degrees. And all the way around is 360 degrees, because they're all made up of right angles. So one turn is 90, halfway is 180, 3/4 of a way is 270, and a whole turn all the way around is 360 degrees. Okay, so when you're going, you're thinking about the direction that you're going, if it's counterclockwise or clockwise, and the degrees that you're turning. Okay. All right, and now we're going to just talk about the rules for turning those. Okay. If we do a 90 degrees clockwise or 270 degrees counterclockwise, clockwise. Okay. 90 degrees clockwise, 270 degrees counterclockwise. We switch our x and our y value, and our x becomes the opposite. This negative means opposite. Okay, it doesn't necessarily mean negative, it means the opposite. And like I said, this is going to be the most difficult, so me or Ms. Burke are going to do a couple of examples, a few examples with you in class before we set you loose to try this on your own. Okay. That's our first one. Our second one, if we do 180 degrees clockwise, or 180 degrees counterclockwise, either way, clockwise or counterclockwise, for 180 degrees, you do the opposite of x and the opposite of y. Opposite x and opposite y. So you're taking each point, your x and y points, and you're moving them this way. Okay, then you'll regraph it. And then the last rule is if you do 270 degrees clockwise or 90 degrees counterclockwise, you have opposite y and x stays the same. Okay, these are the rules. The rules are the most important thing for you to have written down. Okay, and then we are going to practice graphing those together.